Jeff got the juice, keep the show on fire. Josh brings the news straight from the source with no desire. The judge, our wise advisor, keeps us in line. Fresh from the comic shop, showcase your design. Ask Joe the comic book ninja for insights to explore. The popcorn gets to know you from straight to the core. I guess I'll have to think, cause we make some freaks. So much more to discover, this show's a hit. Anything can happen on a comic book canon. Anything can happen on a comic book canon. Anything can happen on a comic book canon. So let's start.
Joe, how you feeling?
I am tired. I'm exhausted, but I'm still hyped from this weekend, and we got to talk all about it because this past weekend was Terrificon, Connecticut's #1 comic book convention up at Mohegan Sun Casino. I can barely talk, but that is okay because we have a lot of things to say. Both myself and Josh attended. Jeff did not. He bailed on us the whole weekend. He lied over and over again about coming to see us, never made it, and we're mad at him.
I'm going to ask you one more time because I'm literally giving you a softball to knock out the park. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling terrific.
There we go. Why did it have to take that long to get to that answer? My God, you feel terrific. Why do you feel terrific?
Because the con was terrific. It was
Terrificon. That's why we're going to be talking Terrificon. This episode is themed around Terrificon. Joe and Josh went. You guys had, well, I'm not going to say. We're going to leave it for that. We're going to hit that after our rumors in the news segment. It is part of the news segment. We're going to have a good time tonight. Packed show because of the Terrificon. So I'm very excited to get into it and start talking some Terrificon. But before we do that, why don't we get into the featured episode issue? And I really would like to know what you think it is. We're talking 235.
Ooh, 235. Isn't it 236 this week? Is it 235?
We're 235.
235. Okay. So I'm gonna go
and guess in the comments too for all that. Why don't you all guess in the comments?
The Batman 235. Close. Batman's close.
It's Detective Comics 235, Joseph. Detective Comics 235, Batman discovers that his parents' murder was no random act of violence. Joe Chill was actually hired to kill them. This revelation turns Bruce Wayne's lifelong war on crime into a personal quest for justice against a shadowy criminal conspiracy. This is very interesting. It's the first major retelling of Batman's origin, adding layers of intrigue and reshaping the mythology for decades to come. As we just said, first major Batman origin retcon reveals Joe Chill was a hired gun and written by Bill Finger and artist Sheldon Moldoff. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I love Shelley Moldoff. Definitely a top 5, probably even top 3 Batman artist for me. And the fact that it's written by Bill Finger, the creator of Batman, adding more to Batman's lore. Love that. I feel like this cover has been homaged. Maybe it's just a similar cover that's like Batman and Robin looking at the screen in the Batcave, and it just kind of looks like this. But yeah, this looks familiar to me. I can't think about what issue it's from though. But yeah, adding on to the Joe Chill story and everything, this is a great pick for sure.
Yeah, I just want to say props to the judge himself for bringing this up. I was having trouble finding something, and he knocked this one out the park. This is a great issue right here. So well done to the judge who has made the show tonight. You know who has not made the show, and it's no fault of her own. But she has some child care issues, so she will not be making it. Her name is Naomi, and she is the 5th member of the canon. So everybody send a shout out and some love to Naomi, who's back in Texas. She'll be back next week with the interview. We keep pushing back every time, but it's a big one next week. So we'll tease you with that. And, again, Terrificon, we're going to be going over everything Terrificon. Please like and subscribe. If you have not done so already, we are the #1 YouTube show of all time, of all live shows and plays and reenactments, and even like kids playing in their bedrooms, right? Like we are the #1 live show of all time.
Yeah.
Great, Joe.
I heard that we just passed MSNBC as far as the news rankings. Our comic book news is so important that we have jumped above MSNBC at this point, thanks to bringing Josh on.
So just when you think you can't get any bigger, the big beef brings us over another
beef.
Why don't we bring that big beef in, huh? How's that sound?
Bring him in.
Josh delivers the news and rumors.
Oh, the big beef. It looks like he's big tired. Big beef. Can you wake up for us, buddy? Big beef.
I loved you.
Oh.
What?
I loved you.
What?
Oh, whoa. Good morning to the comic book canon members of community.
All right. Big Beef, get on your game here because it is your segment here, the news. We're also going to cover Terrificon as well. Are you ready? Did you wake up?
My beef has shrunk over the weekend, and I am not at game level, but I will try my best for comic book canon tonight. Especially for those who
that is ugly.
Kept calling and texting me and saying, "Hey, Josh, I'm excited to come up and see you and Joe this weekend. We're going to do a lot of pictures and videos together with the Canon crew." And every day, every hour you kept texting, Jeff, it just got less and less. And, we're disappointed in you for not showing up.
I mean, I had a valid reason of why I couldn't show up. It had something to do with my daughter. Would you like me to elaborate a little bit more?
I mean, look, now that you say that, I kind of feel a little bit bad. I went that far, and I take that back, and I apologize. And,
thank you. Appreciate that. So we don't need to get into it any further. So why don't we just get into the news as you see this news story right here?
Yeah, so let's get into it. So James Gunn will be writing and directing the next chapter in the Super Family, which will be interesting to find out that he is technically writing a sequel, but not a sequel in a way. I think obviously the statement when he says Super Family, I think what's going to happen is Supergirl, Superman team up film. It makes sense. Why not? I have some ideas and I hear some theories going around. Why don't we have Brainiac maybe become the villain of this team up film? I think potentially they could set something up in Supergirl. We'll have to see what happens when the movie comes out next year. But I got some inside info that we're going to be, let's just say, beefing up for the next couple of weeks until I can get some real beef facts.
He is really ramping up the beef. Let's go with a little bit of a slider, Joe. How about you?
Yeah, expanding is good. I mean, you can't just have one character that everything is focused around. We want to have, supporting characters. We want to have some development of those supporting characters. I'm stoked for the Supergirl movie, especially after the success of Superman. It was good. These are characters that aren't my favorite characters. I'm more of a Marvel guy, and when it even comes to DC, I'm more Batman and the horror side of things like Swamp Thing. So these are characters that I'm not super familiar with, but I'm very stoked to see their development and in Gunn we trust.
Yeah, it's world building, everybody. The DCU is expanding, and we should all be happy about this. That another film will enter the history, the canon of DCU. So again, James Gunn involved with another project is a good thing because I mean, what's the worst thing he's done in the past 5 years? Like honestly, 6 years. I'm really having trouble saying. Like I don't know.
Nothing.
Yeah, he's done. He's just crushed it. And
nothing.
Again, for me, I appreciate him because he's so crass, but brings so much heart. And Peacemaker season 2 will be another example of that. I know he's the executive producer. He may have directed, but I'm sure he wrote some episodes too. So very excited. Let us know what you think in the comments here. What James Gunn will be bringing to the table for the next or another entry in the DCU. So with that said, we should move on to the next news story with the big beef.
Speaking of building out, the Batman has officially entered pre-production, which means the hiring process for production design, art direction, stunt coordination, costumes, VFX, etc.
Visual effects is
oh my god, I have a long weekend. It's on the way. They were hiring everybody for it. Expect also probably casting announcements coming very soon. They will start shooting, it looks like, by January of this upcoming year. Hey, we finally made it. There's no more talk about is it gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? What's gonna happen? So we finally get the Batman Part 2 after 17 and a half years after Part 1. So I'm really looking forward to this film. And again, I'm hearing some excellent rumors. I'm hearing this is actually darker than the first film. They're going to take it to an even more corrupt place. And I'm hearing certain villains will be popping up. So I'll leave that to a later, beefier show.
Nice. Joe has some words, I'm sure.
I never doubted this for a second. That first movie was way too good for them to just give up just because it was taking a while to get things together. If they're in pre-production now, we're clearly not going to see this movie next year. But I'm fingers crossed 2027. I know they were trying to put it out in October of 2026. There's no way that's happening, but maybe they'll shoot for October 2027.
Yeah, for sure. It is a ways out. It sounds like the script is done. They're getting their ducks in a row before they start shooting. Josh, could you kind of address this? Because I think there's some happenings here with Robin being involved, and I'm not sure if we've addressed that correctly.
Well, James Gunn did announce that Damian Wayne will be in The Brave and the Bold. So how interesting would it be if, the Batman was titled Brave and the Bold, The Batman Part 2?
No way. Get out of here.
Hold on. Now, hear me out. At the end of The Penguin, and it's been, I sent a thing to you guys. It's confirmed that Batman's been missing for over a month. What if he had a child in a month and the child grew to like 10 or 11 years old in that month as well? I'm just saying, listen, it's DC, okay? Anything can happen, powers and supernatural abilities. You don't know. Listen, rumors too. I don't know what to tell you. Honestly, I tell you this. I don't want Robin in Patterson's Batman.
No, I agree. At this point, they've made such an effort to divide this from the DCU proper. It's an Elseworld property, apparently. So I guess we won't have the Batman as part of that because that's what they've been saying the whole time. So whatever.
Just leave Robin. Let them do Robin and all the Robins and Damian in the DCU. Let Patterson solo this out. He's very young into his career. Like this. Trust me. They know what Matt Reeves knows what he's doing, and if his vision is executed right, probably for the next 8+ years, we're gonna have amazing Batman content.
I would think that. I don't know. I'm just speculating myself here, but I would think
Jeff, shut up. Okay, I just dropped some beef. Just let it marinate.
Does he know that we could just remove him anytime? He's telling me to shut up. I'm going to finish my point. Then I'm going to bring him back in. And we'll move on to the next story.
I'm going to do the next news story.
Okay. Well, I'll get you to that. But I will say, I have a feeling that Matt Reeves is going to make this a trilogy and that'll be it. And then he'll move on to the next thing. That's all I wanted to say. Joe, please, next news story.
All right. So the next news story we got here, guys, listen up. You might have been a fan of a certain movie series called Into the Spider-Verse or the Spider-Verse movies. We got Into the Spider-Verse. We've got Through the Spider-Verse. We've got Across the Spider-Verse. I forget all of them. Deep Inside the Spider-Verse. No, that's the porn parody. Anyway,
it's painful.
We got a character that definitely piqued some interest. This character is the a different dimension, different Earth's version of Hobie Brown, who normally becomes the Prowler. This one becomes a punk rock star as well as crime fighter known as Spider-Punk. And this character really blew up in popularity. They've been around for 10+ years at this point. But I'll tell you, New York Comic Con last year, I saw maybe a dozen people dressed up as Spider-Punk. That was awesome. And in fact, I got a text while I was at Terrificon from a local buyer asking if I had the first appearance of Spider-Punk.
Interesting.
So this news definitely has some people excited. There is officially going to be an animated movie in the works based on this character. I assume kind of as a spin-off of the Sonyverse Spider-Verse movies, and I really liked the two that we got so far. So, if they keep doing the same thing in that regard, and then I'm all for it. We got to remember that, yes, Sony movies have been trash, but only the live action ones. The animated ones have been solid.
And I was just about to say, I'm going to bring the big beef in. I will
bring him in.
I will mute him if he speaks over me again, or kick him off outright. But I will say, like, they failed so many times with their live action Spider-Man universe. What was that called? Yeah. Like it was the
Sonyverse. Sonyverse.
No, it was something else. But anyways, they failed so many times over and over again. This is the only thing that they could hold on to and make some of their own money with, because they did an excellent job with those first two films. If you start branching out, I'm cool with that too, because this is a really unique character. He also dated Gwen Stacy. Beef, what you got? Talk about this story. We'll allow it.
I will only respond to Joe for the rest of the show. I will say that. So, Ready or Not star Melanie.
Whoa, Joe! Can you please tell him that we'd like him to just talk a little bit about the news story that we just talked about?
No, I talked enough about it. We can skip him. He doesn't even like Spider-Man.
All right,
Spider-Man sucks. Enough said. Oh, sorry. Enough said. So, Ready or Not star. You okay there?
Oh my God! Did it happen again?
Remember that time my chair broke? I think I just broke it again.
Oh my God! Dude,
the whole back of the chair just fell off. Like,
maybe you should be a big beef. How are you going to finish the show?
Commercial break.
I'm gonna say very still and very upright.
Please don't fall and hurt yourself.
Look, the whole back of the chair just fell off.
Oh, we believe you. We've seen it happen before. It's not as embarrassing as the last time, unfortunately. All right, Joshua, or the beef, please. I know we're taking away your thunder.
Sorry. Ready or Not star Melanie Scafano, pronounce that right, has been cast in Brand New Day, and we don't know what actor. Oh, sorry, we don't know what character she will be playing. I'm hearing she might play a Viper.
Huh.
Oh, okay, that's very anticlimactic.
I think there's a character named Viper or something like that in Spider-Man.
Viper's
Viper. I think you said the biker. I was like, great.
Okay, I'm gonna lay this out. Like, I'm hearing we're gonna have maybe 6 to 8 villains in this film. Half of them gonna be cameo. Like, I'm a bit worried. Okay, I think this film might be Spider-Man 3 with way too many villains, and they're gonna overdo it. I am hearing there's gonna be at least 6 to 8 villains in this film. We'll have to see what happens. I don't know. I'm kind of starting to lose a little bit of confidence in this film, because if that's the case, that sounds like way too many. And then you have the Hulk, you have Punisher confirmed to be in here. Are we potentially looking at a film that's just going to be too crowded?
Well, hold on a second. I mean, think about the movie we all just saw, Fantastic Four. They mentioned like almost a dozen Fantastic Four villains in that movie. Brief cameos of some of them. Some of them were just mentioned by name. It doesn't necessarily need to be a jumbled mess of a bunch of villains. There could be plenty of references and cameos and things like that give us that fan service without complicating the movie.
I think he's just trying to yuck our yum, is what he's trying to do.
He doesn't like Spider-Man. He was sitting here a second ago like,
I'm going to say,
Matt Reeves is going to do the Batman so good. We've never had a better Batman. And now he's over here like, Spider-Man.
Low IQ. All right, moving on. Joshua, what do you have next?
Oh, man. So this is some good news, I think. Jeremy Renner says that he's confident that Hawkeye Season 2 will happen. I'm sure, and this is quoted from him, I'm sure we'll end up doing Season 2 and do other things. I'm happy to do it. He says that my body's getting ready for something like that. That's interesting. I said the same thing the other night to Joe, after I got out of the shower and before I went to bed. And you'll see, reference that, because I'm going to talk about that later. You'll see I got some stuff to show you, beefy stuff. But I'm happy about this. Let's get more Hawkeye. It sounds like maybe, Marvel wised up and said, hey, Let's give the man some freaking money. Actually, not even give him more money. He just wants the same salary he had for the season 1. Give the man the money. I mean, why not? He's the last original OG Avenger. Well, except the exception with the Hulk and Thor, but one of the last. So let's do it.
Yeah, he's the foundation, part of the foundation of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I know he came in Thor 2, but he was, he's put so much into it. Why not continue on if he wants to continue on and just pay him what he's worth, to be honest, because he's not asking for anything outrageous here. But I want to see this story continue on with, what's her face? God, why can I?
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop. I was going to say Cassie Lang.
That's interesting. Speaking of Kate Bishop,
Cassie Lang is Scott Lang's daughter.
It was the judge has corrected me. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but the judge has corrected me. It was in Thor 1. But yeah, it was a great show. So much fun with the with the sweatsuit mafia or something like that. I don't know. God, I am
tracksuit mafia. Bro,
tracksuit mafia. God. Anyways, great show. Would love to see this continue on, especially the same tone. And what they plucked the inspiration from with Matt Ayaz, whatever. I can't pronounce his last name right now. I'm just going to hand it over to you, Joe, because I'm just, wow.
Yeah. Anyway, I really liked the first season. I thought it did a lot of cool things. It introduced some cool characters. It brought back some things that we had seen in other avenues of Marvel before. And it introduced, most importantly, Kate Bishop to the MCU. Also Echo, which was kind of a little bonus there.
Kingpin.
That was the thing they brought back. That
was big. That's a big thing. Big thing you need to mention, John.
The big beef. I know.
Big
anyway,
beef, big corrections.
Obviously, for those of you who maybe missed out on this news, probably like almost 2 years ago, Jeremy Renner was involved in a snowplow incident. Like he literally got run over by a snowplow.
And it's a huge. By the way, the snowplow was like a tractor with, big metal rollers.
Yeah.
It wasn't a little small thing you walk behind either.
No. This was a snowplow, not a clean your driveway off tool. He was in the hospital for a long time and continues to rehab from that. So the fact that he is, ready and willing to go back into such a physical role is a really good sign for him. So, first and foremost, I'm glad that he's in good enough health because he almost died.
Yeah.
And, I really would love to see Hawkeye, I've said this a couple times, take on a mentorship, leadership kind of role like he did in the comics, with the West Coast Avengers spinoff. I think he would be great in doing that going forward.
That would be, all these people, these original Avengers need a proper send-off too at some point. I'm sure he'll not want to do this role, but I'm cool with him doing this role as long as he wants to. He was great as Clint Barton. He is.
And look, as long as you get more Haley as well, and maybe a title uniform, I'm down.
She 100%. Is a married woman now, by the way. Just letting you know, Josh Allen. Let's move on to the next.
Josh Allen, what?
You didn't know? Oh yeah, they're married.
I didn't know that. Okay,
I was at the wedding. I officiated it.
That should have been me.
Sure as shit should have been. Let's move on. Come on.
All right, now we're going into rumors now. All right, no effect, and no. God, come on, Jeff.
We don't have a segue to the rumors, Josh. We never have had a segue to the rumors.
We did when we originally started it.
Josh delivers just the rumors.
Anna Day Elms is reportedly being eyed for a big role in the MCU. I'm going to be honest with you. I have not heard what that role is, but it's pretty big. So I'm going to use some Marvel fans in the chat and you two as well. Who do you think Anna would be a perfect cast and what character?
Black Cat.
Is this her? Black Cat. That includes some serious hair dye.
Nah, I don't. I think she's a bit too smaller for Black Cat.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I know if Black Cat's supposed to be fit and
Oh look,
like a Wonder Woman kind of little bulky.
Black Cat. I don't know who she is. I've never seen her in anything. This is the first time I think I'm ever seeing a photo of her.
What?
So, I don't know.
She's okay. She's she's
I'm
a
gonna look
deep
her up.
actress. I've seen her in things where she's good. I've seen her in things where she's been bad. I think she would be great, a great addition to the MCU with the just name recognition alone. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind again is Black Cat. I'm not, Josh. I know you're going for body type, and that means a few other assets, if you know what I mean.
No, well, I wasn't even going that route, and now
No,
you
you were
brought it
not.
up. You know
Definitely
what?
not.
Come on, Jeff. We
Not
all
at
know what's
all.
on your mind.
Oh,
Uh,
she's in a lot of things. Also, did we use the oldest picture in the world of her? Because she's 37 years old now, and she looks like she's 21 in this picture.
I mean, yeah.
No, she's like, all right, Jeff. Well, Joe, pull up a picture on your phone.
I'm not going to do that right now.
We're running a show. This is
Do
going.
it.
This show's going to shit. Please like and
All right,
subscribe if you have
listen.
not done so already, because you may not see Josh ever again.
So you remember how I was talking about Spider-Man villains popping up in Brand New Day? So it sounds like Tombstone, Boomerang, Tarantula, and Ramrod will reportedly appear in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So we may be getting these 4 villains plus a few more introduced in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I know who 3 are out of the 4. Who the hell is Ramrod? I got no idea. But okay, we'll see what happens. I honestly, I don't like. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more known villains with maybe one non-known villain to help out. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna let you guys take this over.
Joe, take this, please.
I got nothing good to say about this.
I mean, once again, Josh says he doesn't know a villain, and that villain is from Daredevil originally. When Josh is a huge Daredevil fan, I don't know what's going on here. This is 2 weeks in a row of this, but yeah, no, I mean, sure, you know, out of these 4, to me, Tombstone is the best character by like a lot. Really like Tombstone. I also like Tarantula, and Boomerang is goofy but cool. Ramrod is definitely the least well-known one of them, but that's okay. You know, it's good to have some, you know, diversity in these characters. You can't just throw all, you know, Doc Ock and Green Goblin together with, you know, Kraven the Hunter, yada yada yada. This is a good mix of more popular characters, like Tombstone and Tarantula, and less like Boomerang and Ramrod. I'm for this. I mean, if they're like I said, it's not like all these characters are going to have an immense amount of screen time or anything like that. They'll probably spread things out. I don't know, but like, I'm just guessing. I'm just assuming. But yeah, bring on the Spidey goodness. I'm in.
Joe and I have been advocating and pushing for Tombstone to be in the next Spider-Man film, and I do believe.
Well, we do know that Scorpion will be in the film at least. We know that's confirmed.
Yeah.
Should I start over, or you're going to interrupt me again?
Anyway. All right, let's move on to the last bit of news. More Spider news. What? Whoa, get on here.
Threw him for a loop. 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 Joe and I have been advocating for Tombstone to be in a Spider-Man film for decades now at this point. And I do believe it, in my heart of hearts, Joe, that the reason Tombstone will be in a Spider-Man film is because of you and I. And all you fans out there have us to thank for a fantastic villain, completely underrated, that will be in a Spider-Man film. But yes, we did, you know, Josh didn't want me to mention Scorpion will be in the film. There's actually a picture out there with the actor in some sort of makeup and stuff like that already. Not Scorpion makeup, but I'm excited for this. I do hear Josh's concerns in terms of it being like Raimi's Spider-Man 3 and just a whole bunch of stuff going on. But again, let's trust Feige, right? Let's trust in Feige. You also got the director from Shang-Chi who's directing this film as well. I think it'll be. I think they're going to continue the quality they've been putting out with Spider-Man. I'm very excited for it because Spider-Man is my favorite character of all time. Let's add this this beef back in here, put him in his right place, and there you go. Josh, let's move on. Thank you.
So, you remember how we said that Sony was kind of done making Spider-Man movies and they wanted to get out? Well, their animated movies tend to be decent, good. And we may potentially be getting a Spider-Woman and Venom animated movie in the works from Sony at some point. We'll have to see if that works. I don't know. I kind of feel like they didn't do anything good with Venom, so we'll have to see what happens. And I don't know. We'll see what happens with Spider-Woman. But yeah.
Yo, wait, hold on a second. Shout out to Comic Ozzy who just came in the room. Dude, were you at Terrificon? Because I thought I heard that you were gonna go and that you were even potentially gonna be staying with us. And then I did not see you the whole weekend. I was on the drive home and I said to Mike, I was like, yo, did you see Comic Ozzy at all? Because I didn't see him. So I gotta see if you were actually there and you were just avoiding me or something. But anyway, on to this. I agree. Sony's animated stuff has been solid, where their other stuff has been lackluster and pretty much just got worse over time. So to see that they're gonna kind of pivot into doing some more animated stuff, and like think about all the cool things you can do with Venom animated and symbiotes in general that really didn't translate well to the live action movie. I'd be interested. The thing that I'm kind of curious about this is if they continue with Venom movies, are they going to continue using Tom Hardy as a voice actor, or are they going to do someone else?
Oh, that's a really good point right there. But again, you may as well go with what's working for you. And Miller and Lord, if they can oversee these projects, I'm all in. Like, again, they did a fantastic job with those first two films. Excited for that third film, which seems like at this point will come out by the time, 2035. But let's see what. Yeah, I'm cool with it if they keep the producers from that are overseeing the first two films onto these projects as well, and keep it a cohesive universe. That'd be pretty awesome. Kate, this is an understatement right here. After Venom 3, I don't mind a change. After Venom 2, I thought a change was necessary. Jesus. All right, Beef. Let's move on to the final. Oh, this is the final story in terms of our news, but we have a convention that is absolutely under review. Is that correct, gentlemen?
It is correct. Both Josh and I attended Terrificon this past weekend, and we had a time. So we'll talk about it now.
Why don't we just talk about it now? We're going to roll some B-roll. You guys just tell us about the overall experience in terms of the convention, the vibes, what you saw on the floor. We'll get some of that B-roll in here. Give us some talks. Beef, you start off.
Yeah, so we had some good vendors, 3 Men in a Basement right there, who shout out to them. I got some great deals. And I also got a grail of mine that I've been wanting for a while. We'll show that later. Here you can see there was a lot of different vendors that had some art prints, big stuff that they were selling. Then you had a nice mix of different vendors from comics. As you can see over here, that's Erod's table. And then over there, people were selling bags and boards and protectors for different photos and arts. Here you have the Artist Alley, where some of these fantastic people show up and do sketch commissions and just phenomenal artwork. And then, just a nice little walk around at the con. There's a little bit of everything for everybody here, whether you wanted some toys, such as Star Wars, or if you wanted to get your photo done here at this big booth. I have no idea what's going on. Or if you want to buy a sword and run around and stab people, you could. But yeah, Terrificon was great. A little bit of everything for everybody. So it's always a great time.
Yeah. And, the real reason that, I love this con so much is it's such a community event. Like it is a bigger convention, comparatively to the other ones that we think of as community events like King Con. But really everyone comes to this, and it's not just people from New England, and it's not just people from the East Coast, but people fly in for this show. Lots of people that I saw coming up from my area, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and all coming together. And there were so many different vendors there selling comics, which is always good for a comic convention. Specifically, I love that you can go to some vendors that just have dollar bin books and $2 books and reader sets and stuff like that. And you go to other ones that have high-end golden age books, that or the blue chip silver age keys. And there's really truly something for everyone And then, obviously Artist Alley is out of control there. Tons and tons of creators.
Interesting. You are causing some FOMO for Ryan. Is lingering. I already told my wife we're going next.
Let me tell you something. The amount of talent in that building is just like insane. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? Well, how about we get into some of the other experiences that you had? You took a couple of pictures that we're going to be showing here, and then we'll get into some other things. So first off, we have, this is a mess here. StreamYard. I mean, let's just start it off, guys. How are the lines?
The big sign, Terrificon, Connecticut's #1 Comic-Con, which, by the way, celebrated its 10th year anniversary for the show. If I'm not mistaken, the governor actually made it National Terrificon Weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So
really?
seriously, it was in the news, and this has been, I guess what it boosts around for the community and everything, and 10 years strong. So, Terrificon is definitely not slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say is the lines that are out of control getting in, but they move very fast. Like when I say that the line was through the entire building, out the door, up the parking lot, and around the corner on Saturday, I couldn't believe it. It takes you like 10 minutes to walk from the front of the line to the back of the line. No joke.
Oh my God.
But it moves very fast. They have a very efficient system once the floor opens, and you're only in line for like 20 to 30 minutes.
But so I'll add to this. I had 3-day access pass, so I technically get in 30 minutes earlier. The line was so long on Friday that when we showed up, I hate to say this, Paul Brookso Comics let us cut in line with him halfway, but the line was wrapped all the way down the other side, down the casino. It probably took almost a good 15, 20 minutes after it opened up, early 30 minutes just to get in. That's how many people have showed up.
That's amazing. All right, everybody, like and subscribe. We're going to continue on with our Terrificon under review. The gentlemen here, Joe and Josh, were the only ones from the Canon who did attend in terms of the show. There was a whole bunch of a Canon crew there. We'll get into that in a hot second. They will let you know if Terrificon was worth it by the end of this review. But it will be an in-depth review. All right, tell us about this picture right here.
Yeah,
this is not. Stop it.
Now listen.
No, that was from Furrycon. I'm sorry. I am so sorry, Joe. Moving on here. Okay, so this is a great shot right here. Who do we got? Look at it. Look at this beautiful shot right here.
Yeah, we got Kate coming in, me, and we got Brixco, Paul. We've got Nori Jordan in the house. Fortunately, he was able to squash the beef with Josh before we took this picture. But you can still tell he was kind of shying away from Josh as Josh leaned into him.
Yeah,
I was more like squashing my beef into him.
I can't let you speak now because there were some things that did happen after this picture. I mean, right here, it looks like things are getting a little chippy.
There was a small bout of fisticuffs, but don't worry, it didn't last too long. Security didn't catch on in time, and we were able to stop them from fighting each other. And fortunately, they were able to hug it out and live peacefully side by side.
So
I can confirm that no Thunderbolts 1 were harmed this weekend. I failed my mission. But next year I will definitely try stirring some shit up and sneezing and tearing and blowing and trapping. What am I gonna do?
That way. There will be other opportunities. All right, we're gonna move on to the more friendlier vibes because this is, I mean, how sweet is this picture? Let's be honest, everybody. Look at this. Kate and the big beef. Kate, did he smell like hamburger? Just let us know.
Yeah, it's more like a bacon cheeseburger, honestly, but I'll take hamburger.
Okay, well, that's
fine.
By
the way, shout out to Kate. She's just like one of the sweetest members in the community, and she's awesome to hang out with and talk to. And, we had a lot of fun. I showed her a book that I think made her weekend, even though she got some great books. But, it was great seeing her.
Nori wants you to let it go, by the way.
Let what go? My beef?
Moving on again with the friendly vibes. Look at this. Look at this. Is that Brian Klotz on the right? You got the Pope in the middle, and then the Beef himself right there.
So let me tell you about this picture.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The three of us had to go down and eat lunch, just the three of us, because a comic flipper / influencer comic lunch was going on at the same place earlier, and we weren't invited. And yeah, I was pretty unhappy about that. But you know what? I got to hang out with these three great guys in the community and do our thing while the flippers.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
What actually happened is those three were in line and getting signatures and stuff, and myself and the rest of the people that went down were hungrier. And it was me and Dr. Guion and Bronzeville Comics and Lunch Money Comics and some guy named Tom who I had apparently met before at some point. He was real cool. We liked him. And Brixco was there too. So we got lunch before them because they were in line getting signatures and artwork done.
Okay, that's fair. You know, you guys all have different agendas there, and especially when there's an influencer gathering. If you weren't invited, either of you, we need to talk to our PR team because obviously we should be running the workshop. You know what I mean? Moving on, though, we got, look at this sweet picture right here. Looks like morning coffee time. You guys look thrilled.
Yeah, that's probably waiting in line. Yeah.
Well, it looks like Mike's mom dressed him or something like that. Like, look at that. His hair is perfect. His backpack is on, and he's ready to go to school.
Yeah, we're off to the con.
Very adorable.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, the Terrificon is hosted in Mohegan Sun Casino, which is a casino, resort, hotel, all that jazz. We did not stay in the casino itself, though. We decided we had a nice group of people. We would get a house outside, rent an Airbnb. And I think the house we got for our little group coming up from Jersey and coming up from Delaware and Pennsylvania was pretty nice. I think we have a clip of the house, right?
We do. Do you want to finish these pictures up first, or do you want?
Oh yeah. Why don't you show the rest of the pictures? I didn't know there were any more.
Because we made it.
Oh, there's some more. Hopefully, okay. I hope there's a couple good ones left.
Look at this, Nori, Jordan, and Kate. They look like they're having a good time and being friends to each other. Why couldn't you make that happen, Beef?
Yeah, that's okay.
No comment.
Okay. And look at this. Look who made it. Oh my
Tom.
Oh,
but the best part is look in the background. Look who's photobombing them.
The Joker.
Who is that?
The Joker.
That's the Joker.
Oh wow, that's quite interesting.
And Indiana Jones technically to the left of Tom.
Okay, but who? Right. How was the book received? Tomas handing his book out.
Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Great, can't wait to talk about that as well. Everybody, like and subscribe if you have not done so already. We're the #1 show of all time ever, live shows and stuff. And then we have what's going on here?
Oh yeah, do we have any picks of the winner and loser of the poker tournament?
This is great.
So he is meeting Cles Claremont. He waited in line a long time. I took this picture for him. I know he probably doesn't get over to the States too often and meet some of these great creators. So I wanted to take a picture for him. And honestly, I think it really made his day. And he made some friends in the line as well, too. He mentioned a fan by the name of Gabby. And I'm not sure if she's a fan of the show or not. But, yeah, he was chatting it up with people. And, probably trying to get him to come back to the South with him. But.
And by the way, we did show the winner and the loser of the poker tournament. It was right here. Winner on left, loser on right.
I have some. Oh, that's rough.
That's a beautiful picture. That's love right there.
A good one.
That's love.
By the way, I want to mention I heard some news controversy is that the poker tournament was rigged.
It was not rigged.
I don't know about that.
Everyone in it was bad. Don't get me wrong. Everyone in it was bad other than me and Mike, but it was not rigged.
Wow. You're calling people who may potentially be our fans bad. Wow. Okay.
Okay. And then here we go. This picture, though, from Nori Jordan. Thank you, Nori, for sending this. Boom. Look at that. What the hell?
Yeah.
Like, wow. let's talk about it. What was your? Did you? I guess you saw that on the floor, gentlemen, right?
Oh yeah, he was walking. He actually made it from San Diego Comic-Con. He flew over in his cloud of dust and landed at Terrificon.
That is an outstanding costume. And like honestly, that's obviously stopping people as they walk past. Well done there, gentlemen. Okay, so obviously it looked like it was a great time by all.
Yep.
But again, we are the all of Terrificon is under review. The totality of Terrificon, which also includes accommodations, and it looks like we do have a video here that will close out kind of you guys sharing the experience in general. So everybody check this out right here.
Hey, check out my crib, check out my crib, check out my crib.
What's up, MTV? Welcome to our crib. Come on in. This is the comic book canon house at Terrificon. We've got the luxurious wraparound couch, huge, massive, big screen TV. We got the big beef laying out,
beef right here.
chillaxing.
Out the beef.
All right, over here we got some great decor. This is the bathroom. I think DJ Paulie P's in there. Yo, Brixco, you in there? All right, he might have died. Check out the kitchen here. This thing is nice. We've got, well, don't look at me! All right. Come up this side.
Guys, we're going next to you.
We got a bathroom over here. Come upstairs, check this place out.
Yeah, you guys are gonna love this. Get a zoom up with my
This is the loft.
beef.
This is where Josh, me, and Brian sleep. We got this like sleepover vibe going here. We got 3 beds all in the same room. We tell ghost stories. We hang out. Sometimes we giggle. Check out this bathroom.
This is where we eat our snacks.
Beautiful, beautiful bathroom. Awesome shower. Check this thing out.
Nah. It's even better too.
Come on in. Come on in.
I'm not coming in
Come on
there.
in.
Hold on.
Oh, it's cold. It's cold. It's cold. It's cold. It's cold. It's cold.
So look, this is where the big beef ends up, getting undressed, doing his bath, taking the stuff off. And then what I like to do, come sit up here.
Is it a towel? Oh, what?
Yeah, there's one in the bathroom. Then the big beef sits up here, airs out the beef. You know what I'm talking about. Especially for the ladies like Jeff back at home. We love you, Jeffy.
All right, MTV, we gotta get out of here. Peace.
All right. Well, also debuting a new segment, CBC Cribs. So anything that was left out from that video that we need to discuss, talk about, or have an intervention?
We definitely need to have an intervention. The Pope consumed 11 pretzels while we were there. Unfortunately, we still had some left over that got thrown out because I had way too many pretzels with me. But that's another story. It was fun. It was really cool all staying together in a house. We didn't spend too much time there. It was mainly, just hanging out at night and then, getting up in the morning and going. So it was more just of a place to sleep, but it was cool all being there rather than being split up into multiple hotel rooms or cramped up, sleeping on each other's hotel floors. I definitely will do the Airbnb option again, especially up there.
Yo, that place was awesome. Like legit. Like it wasn't as good as it looked. Like it was awesome.
And the best part was it was literally like 2 minutes away from from the con. Like literally you go right down, not even a half of a mile, and you're right down at the con. Like you could walk there. That's how quick it was.
Yeah, Brian Klotz was the one who actually recorded that video. So shout out to him for being our videographer. I think
well done.
If his career doesn't work out, then maybe Jeff, you can hire him on as a video producer for the Canon or something.
Jeff, I think we forgot to show off one photo. People may not know this right now, but Comic Book Canon is a little bit low on funds. Apparently, a lot of the Comic Book Canon budget was wasted over the weekend. I don't know if we have a picture of that at all, Jeff, or
Real World New London. I did not add any additional pictures after a certain time today.
I happen to have some footage, or actually a picture. Would you like me to show it to the audience?
Please do. Show it.
So, after the con on Saturday, Jeff came up to me. Joe came up to me and he said, "Hey, man, I got this great idea. Let's take the budget of comic book canon. Let's just waste it." I was like, I don't know about that. I don't want to do that, And he's like, "No, trust me, it'll be okay. I'm going to double the budget. Finally, we get some salaries. We can maybe afford some non-store brand coffee and milk and get some real good stuff." So, here's Joe. About 2 seconds after he put the canon budget money in. And then here's Joe about 20 seconds later when he lost everything.
Oh, that's what happened.
Yeah, I was playing with house money at that point. I actually won some in the poker tournament and then won some in the morning. I lost almost all of it back in the evening though. So I did come out on top though. So it's all good.
Okay, well, we're at the point here now where you need to give an overall general sense of positive, negative in terms of under review for Terrificon this year. Tell us. Let's have Josh start.
All right. I'm gonna start off with some negatives. Oh, well, we'll do pros and cons. My real con, honestly, was just not having enough time. Why I did spend 3 days up there, it was hard to try to meet everybody. There was a lot of people there. And I just wish we had more time, and I wish maybe next time we go up to do a more of a group hangout together, meet up after the show or whatever we can. Again, we kind of just put this trip together kind of almost last minute, but that's one of the cons. One of the other cons too was Saturday was crowded, and I mean crowded, and I'm fine with crowds, but I wish we could just have a little bit more space in the aisles. And so yeah, those are the only two big things of mine that were cons. But pros, honestly, was meeting everybody. Whether I've met you before or meeting you for the first time, everybody was there. Collector Without Fear, who has been on the show before, was there. I bumped into him a few times. Kate, Nora Jordan, Joe and his leg thigh machine that he's using right now was there. Everybody was there. And it was such a great event, and just to hang out with everybody and hunt comics and see those who we haven't seen in a while that are all the way up north, or even some people we haven't seen before. So I'm going to give it a rating on this con, and I'm going to give it a 10.0 white pages golden label.
Ooh, that is almost as high as it gets. Joe, when you're finished working out, can you give us your final thoughts and review?
Listen, man, I'm just so bogged down by all the things that I have to get done during the week between my job and doing comic stuff and doing stuff for the canon and being away this weekend. I find it hard to, stay in shape and stuff like that. So I decided I needed to buy myself a Gorilla Bar from Mr. Sculpt. Gorilla Bar has also sponsored this video. Shout out to Mr. Sculpt for that. This right here is a Gorilla Bar. It gives you 90 pounds of resistance. You can work out those arms. You can do all sorts of different maneuvers and things like that with it. It's a great product, and now sponsoring the canon.
That took forever. So that was your review, or do you want to?
Terrificon was pretty cool. Yeah, I liked it. I had a good time. Food was good. People were great. I'll go next year.
Right. All right. And with that, that ends the Big Beef segment.
Josh delivers the news and rumors.
All right.
Jeff, hold on. Put me in full view. I got breaking news from Susan in our control room. Okay, I have breaking news, guys. It sounds like a Battlestar Galactica, the New Frontier, New Dawn movie is coming out.
Stop it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm hearing that you should definitely look into purchasing a copy of Battlestar Galactica for sure. And if a friend gives you some advice on picking one up, definitely take it. Susan, thank you so much. Have a great time in Chicago. Hope to see you soon. And that's it, gentlemen. We are back.
Wow. The audio numbers went from 25 million to 13 million in that 22 seconds that you just had to say that. Let's bring in
Maybe we don't have any fans of Battlestar.
Actually, fellow Canon crew member, the judge himself. He's been patiently sitting backstage. Judge, hello. How are you, good sir?
Good to see everyone today. I'm just digging through my collection, remembering what I have. I have so many comics, I forgot what's in these boxes.
Oh my God! Well, it's a good time to get that through. Any Green Lanterns? Any Green Lanterns at all?
Yes, I can show them.
Well, the reason I want to ask you something real quick. Did you know that Guy Gardner wasn't always a jerk?
I did not know this.
Huh.
Well, how about you learn a little something right now? Let's pay attention, everybody.
Did you know Guy Gardner wasn't always a jerk? Before Guy Gardner was a hot-headed Green Lantern, he was a mild-mannered social worker, but also a hero in waiting. When DC introduced Guy in 1968's Green Lantern number 59, he wasn't a punchline or a problem. It was revealed he was actually second in line for a ring next to Hal Jordan. So what happened? Well, it started with a power battery explosion that people thought killed him, but really sent him to the Phantom Zone. When Hal goes to rescue Guy, Sinestro intervenes, torturing Guy further, which results in brain damage and a coma. Guy finally awakes from his coma. He awakens with an arrogant, unstable, and aggressive personality, marking the birth of the modern character. So, Guy Gardner didn't start out as the worst Green Lantern. He became that way through injury, trauma, and time. And somehow, that made him unforgettable. What do you think? Tragic turn or well-earned punchline? Let us know in the comments. And if you didn't know, now you do.
He was a mild-mannered social worker when he was first introduced, and I found that very fascinating. Your thoughts after hearing that, Judge?
It kind of reminds me of the origin of Dr. Octopus, who was a good surgeon and a good guy, and he had a tragedy of those radiation or whatever it was that got to his brain and changed him forever.
Yep. So again, another fun Did You Know before we move on to this next segment, which is really titled Ask Joe and the Canon Crew.
Ask Joe, ask Joe, ask Joe, Joe, ask Joe, whoa, and Jeff.
And the Canon Crew. All right, so here we are. We're going to try and get through this as quick as possible because these gentlemen here on the right of frame, Joe and Josh, are probably exhausted. So we're going to try and get this through this as quickly as possible. Like and subscribe if you have not done so already, but come on, we are the #1 live show ever of all time. Ask Joe, have you ever sold at a Terrificon? And if not, would you ever?
So I have never sold at Terrificon, but I actually was talking with Mike on the way home, and I think I might try to do it next year. I don't have any summer conventions that I do. I just have to make sure that it doesn't disrupt my work schedule because my August is very important for the job that I do. So I would have to make sure that I can do it. But yeah, I am thinking about doing it. I think I do pretty well there, and it's not super far. I mean, it would be the farthest convention from my house that I do, and that does add, additional costs and things like that, especially if I'm renting a vehicle. But I'm thinking about it, and I'm leaning towards at least looking into it. So
yes,
stay tuned for next year.
That would be a big jump indeed. And I love how, by the way, I'm going to address this real quick. Where is it? Derek said, I am having problems with my internet for some strange reason. Did you forget to close your LimeWire? I don't know what's going on here. We have the fastest internet of all time. It looks great on my computer, and it looks terrible here. All right. Moving on, though. Moving on. I want to mute you, kind sir, good judge, because I think you're bleeding through with the audio. Let's mute that mic. Yep, it is you. All right, moving on. We have asked Joe, what do you think is a well-known but obtainable pre-code book?
This is a good question. Pre-code, I don't know if you mean pre-code in general or pre-code horror. So I will say in general, there's plenty of pre-code stuff that is pretty affordable. Think about, the less popular genres. Romance is pretty popular, not as popular as horror or superheroes, but it's up there. The next step kind of down from that is war. And then kind of the bottom rung is the cartoon books and the westerns. I would say the cartoon books are above the westerns. Western stuff is a hard sell nowadays. So if you are into westerns and collect them, more power to you. You can get some really cool stuff for cheap. So you can always go outside of what people typically think of comic books with the superheroes and the horror stuff, and that stuff is easily attainable and pretty cheap. As far as pre-code stuff, I would say, I forgot to mention crime. Crime's a good one. Crime is kind of on the same level as romance. As far as pre-code horror specifically, that's a really tough one because most of the pre-code horror books that are quote unquote well known have quite a bit of value to them because they're low availability and more desirable. I would say kind of any of the like EC more filler issues from the main titles, the main like 3 horror titles and shock suspense stories and crime suspense stories, if you want to include those as well. But specifically Tales from the Crypt, Haunt of Fear, and Vault of Horror. And the latter two even more so than Tales from the Crypt, because Tales from the Crypt has that name recognition due to the movie and the shows, but Vault of Horror and Haunt of Fear are great ones. The filler issues from those are more on the affordable side. They're still EC horror though, so they still bring in a pretty penny. But yeah, I would look into those. Find something you like with a great cover and search it out.
Great answer right there. We're not going to we're not going to elaborate anymore. So we're trying to get through this as quickly as possible. We have a lot of questions still left, but Mr. Dan De La Torre, the judge, has a question as well. A live question. Go ahead, Judge. You are unmuted.
Nope, I unmuted him, then you remuted him.
Okay.
Well, maybe I was going to do it first, Joe.
Joe, just a quick question. You're pretty observant. At Terrificon, with PSA, were there PSA slabs out there, by the way? And we reported last year that Raw Comics have made a real resurgence from the controversy with all that. Is that still the case? Or are you seeing slabs kind of going up a notch? And again, you looks like you did see a PSA. How did that all work out, and what was it?
No, actually, I saw 0 PSA books, and I actually wanted to bring this up during the show. I meant to bring it up during the Terrificon section, but I forgot. So I'm glad you mentioned it because Bronzeville Comics called me about an hour before the show started. And he said, hey, I noticed something. And I talked to a bunch of people, and they all noticed the same thing. Not a single PSA slab in the room. I didn't see a single one. Not one on the wall, not one on the boxes. And I at least looked at every vendor's booth. So maybe there was something hidden and I didn't see it. But I think that's kind of telling that not a ton of people are submitting to them initially.
But they just opened up submissions less than a month ago, I think.
No, because people have gotten books back already. It's been, and also vendors have had the opportunity to submit to them long before the public has.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, now I'm not saying that people aren't submitting, but the inventory at the show did not show that whatsoever. So I think give it more time, certainly, because it is still early on. Let's check back Terrificon next year and see if things have changed. But nope, almost all CGC as always, plus some CBCS. I don't think I saw any EGS or Halo or PGX. But yeah, and as far as the Raws versus graded books, I think we did go over this a little bit ago. Whereas Raws really took precedence for a while, graded books have gone back up in popularity, mainly because prices have stabilized. The prices have just come closer together. The big reason that the slabs dropped off so hard was because of the price discrepancy. It was way cheaper to just buy a raw copy and get it graded than it was to buy a graded copy. Now that they're more stabilized, closer together, there's less of a gap there, and it often makes sense, especially if it's an older book that could potentially have restoration or something like that. A lot of people are buying the slabs just to make sure that they don't have, by mistake, buy a restored or incomplete copy, and they know what they're getting. They know what grade the book has is going to be assigned because it already has been assigned.
For sure. I'm not trying to rush things along here, but hopefully that answered your question. Good judge. I do want to say hello to Bill of Earth 616, who's on the TikToks, but also on the YouTubes with a comment here. So welcome, Bill of Earth 616, right here. The cost to get a book slabbed with autographs is more than the book is worth. And, that's a good point. All right, moving on. Quickly, we'll answer this. Brian Klotz asked Joe and Jeff, why do you hate Battlestar Galactica? Joe, you go first.
I don't hate Battlestar Galactica. We just had a discussion last night that I don't think that buying a case of, I think it was like 800 or something like that, Battlestar Galactica books is a good idea because there's not that many people that like Battlestar Galactica. It's not like you're buying a case of Spider-Man comics or Batman comics that are easier to sell in large quantities. You got to find, Battlestar Galactica fans that want to buy that book.
Yeah, but with the new movie coming out, though, Joe, come on.
How many Battlestar Galactica movies and shows have there been?
Well, there's going to be a lot more now after Amazon pumps them out.
Next question.
Moving on to Supreme Love. This is a very broad question, in my opinion. As Joe knows, I found some books from my childhood. I'm debating about slabbing. Should I? It's that second Harley Quinn.
I mean, slabbing has a bunch of purposes. Preserving books. Your book is from the 90s. It doesn't need preservation. Protecting books. Sure. If it's a really high-grade copy and you'd like to protect it, go ahead. If you want to know what grade it is, Mylar always works too, as Dan's saying here. If you want to know what grade it actually is, if you're planning on selling it at some point, if you want to mount it on the wall in a slab, it's a reason to do it. I mean, you can't read it anymore. That's a downside. You might have to get it recased at some point. That's a downside. So it really is up to you. There's, in my opinion, there's no books other than like very expensive books that are having condition issues that need to be preserved. There's nothing that should be slabbed other than that. Should definitely be.
Yeah, if you're looking to get it slabbed just to get it slabbed and graded, just because you're curious, sure. But you could also display it in so many other different options and cases and UV protection and all that stuff. So, in my opinion, I don't like getting things slabbed that often. So I would, again, it depends on what you're looking to get out of it. Is it just going to be a display on the wall? If that's the case, don't get it slabbed, in my opinion.
Right.
Here we go. Because of Joe's newly uncovered support of an alternative community, will you seek a nomination for the Ursa Major Awards?
I can only imagine what that award is, and I'm not going to look it up, Brian.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Next question.
I'm scared. But it is Supreme Love with the next question again. Will we see Polaris in an MCU film? We've seen it on a show before.
It would take a while. I think that it would take a while for that to happen. I'm going to say no.
Okay. Kamikaze asked Joe, does Paul pay you to be friends? And I'm going to add on that. If so, how much?
He does pay me. He pays me in comic books, which is I'm fine with. He's been recently coming up a little bit short though, so I had to kind of gank him back and sell him a book that I said was a 9.8 contender, but had pen on the back. That was kind of my way to kind of get back at him for him coming up short on the payments recently. So to answer your question, yes, but he doesn't pay me in cash. It's just in comic books.
Before we continue on another question, I want to say what's up to Matt Stadge. We haven't seen him in quite a while, as well as Justin, aka Raising Elm. Hello, kind sir. How are you? All right. We're going to finish up these questions right here. Where are we? We have the Neighborhood Merc. Asked Joe, was CGC having the new green labels for signed books that weren't witnessed? Do they typically have the same ballpark value as a witnessed signed book?
So CGC used to put a green label on books, a qualified label on books that were signed but not witnessed. That's not the case anymore. You now get it verified, and they'll send it. It's JSA is actually owned by CGC now, which is a autograph authentication company. And what they'll do is they'll either authenticate the signature and put it in a yellow and black label. It's different from the witnessed label. The witness one is all yellow, whereas it's yellow with a black bar for the authenticated one. And they typically have the same ballpark value. As we've seen over the last couple months, authenticated and witness signatures generally sell for about the same, which is interesting because it typically costs less to have something authenticated after the fact than having something witnessed. So Paul and myself and Brian and Josh and Mike were talking at the house last night. It does kind of disrupt a section of this community that does witnessing and also witnessing as well as sending off to CGC, when someone can just go and get in line by themselves and get something signed and then take it home, press it themselves and send it off. Sure, the company will do that for you. If you're someone that doesn't press books or someone that wants, someone else to handle it for you, you can pay a company to do so. But it is even easier now than ever to, kind of just do it yourself. And like I said, it does not really affect the value as we've seen so far.
Very interesting observations right there. We have 2 more questions left.
Well, I was going to say, Derek brings up a good point, though. You have to request for them to do the JSA verification. If not, they will give you a green label.
Yeah, but I mean, no one's sending in a signed book to get a green label.
I'm just saying. Yeah,
it doesn't cost I forget what it is, $17 or something like that. It doesn't cost very much. Yeah, to get a signature verification. So everyone's just doing it. It's that simple.
That's fair. All right, here we go. Ask Josh, with your new nickname, the Big Beef, have people now looked upon you as a sex symbol?
That's
funny, you asked the question.
Oh, that's me, by the way.
That's funny. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a quick story real quick. Make this quick. Haley Atwell, who plays as Peggy Carter, was at the con this weekend, and I was probably about 50, 75 feet away from her, and we made for like 1.2 seconds, made eye contact, and there was something in the room. Like, it felt like everybody disappeared, and it was just me and her, and we were dancing and everything. So that's just my opinion. I think I might be named man's, sexiest man of the year with a big beef and everything. And
stop it now.
Well, I'm just saying, I wanna take this time, and I want to be a role model for.
Out of respect for you, Judge, we've kicked him off for a little bit. Let's let him cool down.
Time out.
The final question. Ask Joe, Batman key under $100 with the most upside. I love this question.
This is a tough one because the things with the most upside often have the least chance of there being upside. I mean, there's probably some like random obscure early Silver Age or late Golden Age Batman book with an obscure villain that the majority of us has never heard of, that if you bought that book and that character shows up, because there's less of a supply of books from the 50s, there's a higher chance of that going up. But I'm gonna stick with Bronze Age and newer. As far as most upside, I mean, you can get a really high grade copy of the first appearance of Black Mask for under $100. That's a pretty solid villain that has shown up a couple times in media. Supreme Love just said second appearances. That's an interesting take. I wasn't actually thinking that. I was kind of thinking specifically first appearances. But yeah, second appearance of Poison Ivy is a very obtainable book. Anywhere from maybe $20 to $80, depending on the condition. From a really low grade copy. There's also a lot of the Robin related keys Jason Todd and Tim Drake all are kind of in that price range now. In fact, you can even get Damian Wayne's first appearance for under $100 Raw now. So, I mean, all of those are great options because if a Robin shows up and that's the Robin for, the Brave and the Bold, and that's the Robin that's going to be going forward in the DC universe, I mean, that could really spike popularity for that character, especially if it's one like Damian or like, honestly, all of them. I don't really think it matters. I mean, the print run on Damian's first appearance is probably significantly less because Tim's from the 90s and Jason's from the 80s, and Damian didn't come about until the early 2000s. That was pre New 52, but it was only a few years. I don't know the exact year. Maybe 2009, 2008, or something like that. 2006. I'm rambling at this point, but yeah, I think any of the Robins, any of the non-Dick Robins are good choices.
I'll just add that it depends also what James Gunn's about to do.
Sure.
So just keep your eyes peeled and then act quickly when something is announced.
Yeah.
Very good points.
You know what? I'm pretty sure. I can't think of what book it is, but the first appearance of the Joker might be a good one. I think it's it might be Batman #1. If you can afford that, I mean, you might be able to get it for under $100. Yeah.
Thinking if I have one right now, do I have it? No, I probably don't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One more question. Ask Joe, Jeff, and why does it smell like raw hamburger in here? I hope that the big beef is definitely not in your house.
Ask Joe. Ask Joe. Ask Joe. Joe. Ask Joe. Whoa. And Jeff.
And the cannon crew.
And if it smells like that, use Slab Dex. It cleans it up real nicely.
And Dan, please. Dan, it's Dan's been the client has been asking Dan to take over for this episode. So Dan, please.
If you have any need whatsoever, this is a catch-all. This cures so many ills. This takes care of so many messes. Use Slab Dex and use it sparingly because it's very potent, very powerful, but effective.
Joe actually grew blue hair this week.
I did. I had to shave it off.
His head. All right. We are at the tail end of the canon, the final segment, which is actually, I feel like, taking a summer break on its own because there have not been that many submissions in here. Slab Decks, like Febreze for raw hamburger. Wow, we're coming up with new ways to use Slab Decks each and every week. But let's get right into Fresh from the Comic Shop.
Fresh from the comic shop. Your collection's treasures ready to pop. It's time to share, don't let it flop. Fresh from the comic shop. Take a shot, make it bright, give it style and flair. Show a book that's unique, something rare out there. Tell us why it matters, what's the story behind. Pull at our heartstrings and you'll surely shine.
Sponsored by Crafty Comics, where collections flex their style. Museum quality slabs and displays with 99% UV protection. Because your fresh gets deserve the spotlight.
Fresh indeed. You know, Slab Decks is looking to actually sponsor this segment, but I'm pretty sure the interview we have next week will clarify who the new sponsor will be, and we will be giving all of you fine winners from each month your well-deserved prize. And speaking of those fine winners from each month, let's just go through that right now, shall we? Why not? Why not, guys?
Sure.
Why not? We have, for January, we have Mons Comics. For February, we have Dr. Plagueis. For March, SuperCrispy.comics. April's winner is the man himself, the Nori Jordan. May is Mike Hags. June is Spud Comics. And July, everybody, was decided on a vote this week. It was Danny from Danny and Tessa, but he has another handle because I guess he's locked out of Danny and Tessa. I don't remember what it is offhand, versus someone who I'm not sure. You never clarified if he's alive or not. Is Briscoe Comics, aka Bond, Paul Bond? Was he alive?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, we'll clarify that. Either way, Briscoe Comics took it home with the the Chamber of Chills submission right here. Well done to both of you all for sure. So our July winner is Bond.
Paul
That was good. That was very good. I don't know why the judge didn't join us. Now, here's the deal. We have
hold on. Paul Bond.
Oh God, that sounds like
that's
terrible.
You tried.
It would go good with the three of you chiming in with me. We'll rehearse this next week.
Yeah, for next week for sure, because he deserves it. He may be dead. With that said, we have 3 submissions this week. That's why I feel like the Fresh from the Comic Shop this week is on summer vacation. I have no idea why. One of those submissions is not eligible. It's Raising Elm because he was our winner, our finalist for semifinals from last week. We're picking one that goes up against him. Actually, 2 of them are not eligible. So by default, we have one winner, but we'll just share these right now. Raising Elm. Here we go. Just killing it. Raising Elm. Howdy, comic fam. I recently found this gem at my local comic shop, and it brought back some memories of when Randy and I first started dating. My wonderful wife opened up my eyes to a lot of different shows, movies, and franchises. The Guild was a web series we watched together, and it's probably long overdue for a rewatch. Don't you think, babe? And he asks his wife, Randy Irene, 83. If you believe that Felicia Day is the rightful queen of all that is nerdy, then raise your right hand and repeat after me. I insert your name. Oh, Judge, you need to make sure this is legit right here, by the way. I insert your name, solemnly swear that the next time I go hunting for comic books, either online, in store, or at a con, or on somebody's back porch, that's probably referring to you, Joe, that I will try my damnedest to find this amazing comic or one of the variants to add to my PC. Glory to the Guild and long live the canon! We love that. Thank you. Ouch. Much love, comic fam. All right, that's a nice submission right there. He's not eligible, though. But, Judge, he's asking everybody to raise their right hand. That's kind of your territory.
I know about that. Well, we can do it. All right, do you want to go through this right now, or should I get this? I'd like to get this in writing first.
I know. Yeah, exactly. We got to get in touch with his lawyer.
Yeah.
Joshua, you're first. Show us your fresh gets and make it quick.
Well, how many fresh gets can I show off?
Oh my God, Josh, it's always 3.
Trace. Oh,
this guy's fired. Put me up. I'm putting mine up. I got him right here.
First episode, like seriously.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Check this out. Really cool book. This is Doctor Who in the Daleks. This is from Dell Comics, 1960s, and this is the first appearance of Doctor Who in comics.
What?
I got this pretty cheap at the con. There was a toy and memorabilia dealer, and often I always say this: if you see someone that has, that might be selling other things other than comics, but has some comics, you sometimes can get some really good deals because it's not their area of expertise. They might just want to let them go. This guy had a bunch of books, and I bundled some stuff together, made him an offer. And actually, I didn't even make him an offer. I said, "Can you do a bundle deal?" And the number that he said back to me was the exact number in my head that I was going to offer him. So, that doesn't happen very often. This was one of them. First appearance of Doctor Who in comics. It's a low-grade copy. Definitely a good entry-level one for someone who wants it, but it is complete and attached and everything. Second up, this is the most expensive book that I purchased. I already have a copy in my PC, so this one will be up for grabs. I think I got a great deal on it.
Damn.
As X-Men #1. The first appearance of multiple characters, Thunderbird, Colossus, Storm, and most importantly, Nightcrawler. Also the second full appearance of Wolverine, and first time all these characters join the X-Men. It's a low-grade copy, an entry-level copy. It is complete. It is attached, although it does have some spine splitting, and there's a little bit of tape. I think there's like 2 pieces of tape on the cover as well. But yeah, just a low-grade copy. Great for someone who wants in. And the most important thing I got, because this is awesome. This is from a friend. This is from Tomas Fragile, which is his book that he wrote And this is the American printing that he was able to get done. He brought a bunch of copies to Terrificon, gave them out, signed them for anyone that wanted them signed. Jeff, I have a copy.
Yes.
A copy for you, and I actually have a bunch of them. So if you are, local and weren't able to be up at Terrificon and pick one up from Tom, I do have a couple of these that he gave me to give out to the community.
Everybody, please. Tomas is an amazing human being, great member of the community. Support, like Joe has a whole bunch he's still giving out, so I think
he gave me 12 if I remember correctly.
Come on, like seriously, everybody.
Yeah.
And he was one of the most nicest, sweetest people on this earth to hang out with at the con.
That's great.
Like he was just, we had breakfast with him, we had hunting time with him, Joe had lunch with him. I mean, he's just like so amazing to hang out with too.
So that's amazing to hear. By the way, my light went out. I didn't charge that one, so that's why I'm looking like very moody.
You look ominous now.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's the look I was actually going for. So I truly appreciate that. All right, moving on. We have let's go Nori Jordan. Nori Jordan. Hello everyone. I just returned from my weekend away at Terrificon. I had a blast. There were so many great books. It was hard to know where to begin. I have become a big fan of the Netflix Jessica Jones series, so I figured I would look for her Alias series. Luckily, I found a booth with the complete set at a good price. I was very happy with that. But on my second day at the show, I saw a booth with an Alias number 9.8. Well, money isn't everything, but now I have 2 first appearance copies of Jessica Jones. Thank you to all the canon members I was able to spend time with and get some great picks with. The community is amazing, and I am grateful for it. Take care, everyone. This warms my heart that there was community time there. Joshua, what do you got?
Yeah, Terrificon was amazing. I'm just going to show you my 3 favorite pickups. One book I wanted to pick up this weekend. I didn't think it was going to happen.
Out because this is Jim, a.k.a. Bronzeville. Is this the Comic Book Furries channel?
Oh, God.
No, that's actually under the 360 Comics channel, Jim.
Yeah. I think, Josh, I think he's referring to this, right?
Oh my God.
I think that's exactly, it's funny. There was actually a furry booth at the show. I sent you a picture and I could have swear I saw Joe, walking in and out. He was trying on some costumes, it looks like.
All right, well,
some new fur.
We'll talk about this more next week, maybe.
Okay.
Joshua.
So shout out to 3 Men in the Basement. Every year at Terrificon, my second year there, they had some great deals, and I'll show you that in my haul video coming later this week. But I'm the proud owner of Lois Lane 70.
Ooh.
First Silver Age appearance of Catwoman, another addition added to my collection. Had Joe look at this. It's about a 4.5 to a 5.0. Needs some cleaning and a press, but perfect grade. And I only paid $100 for this.
Nice.
Shout out to Big Daddy John Ross, who chipped in $20 to help out to get me to buy this, and goes to show just how great this community is.
That's amazing, yeah.
Josh, that's a great pickup.
Well, you're gonna wait till you see this. Broke Boy Comics, aka Noah, talked me into get my first ever commissioned sketch art at the con. Well, Catwoman theme. I love the Golden Age Catwoman, so I am proud to show you my first ever sketch cover.
Oh.
Ryan Santos took care of this cover for me. I'm going to be going back every year to Terrificon and getting him to do a sketch cover. I only paid $110. It took him a day to do this. Dropped it off Friday afternoon. Picked it up on Saturday afternoon. I mean...
That is a hot cover. Super hot cover.
Really good.
And like I said, the cover, the purple in the background, it was a sketch cover, and he just drew her. And the way how the whip goes all the way around, especially up to the top and around, I mean, come on.
Yeah, that is just so masterfully done, especially just like on a whim. Like you literally, you talked to him Friday and then picked it up Saturday, right?
I talked to him for 2 minutes. I said, could you do a Catwoman Golden Age cover? He said, yep. He's bringing me the sketch cover. Me and Noah went over to the booth, came back 10 minutes later with this, dropped it off. Within about maybe 24 hours, he had this ready to go.
Yeah, that is 24 hours. That's incredible. So well done. That's a great
probably a
pickup.
little bit less, but yeah, right around that time.
That's amazing. All right, what do you got for your final pick here?
So Brookso Comics, shout out to Paul. He got a lot of original artwork done, and he was talking me into a piece. And today, before we left, he talked me into it, and he bought it for me. Now, obviously, I'm gonna pay him back a little bit, but I picked up my first ever original piece of artwork as well at Terrificon. So this is a beautiful Wanda 11 by 17, if I'm not mistaken, and this is by Andrea Mello. She is a fantastic artist, and this is the original art that she had. It was only $300.
That is beautiful. That really is a gorgeous piece of work right there.
And most of her stuff usually sells, especially something like this, between like $400 and $500. But we got a great deal on it. Paul bundled it up with another piece that he wanted from her. And yeah, I saw this thing. I tried getting Joe to buy it for himself. He didn't want to do it for some reason. I don't know why. I thought he was a Wanda fan. But hey, his loss, my gain. So first ever sketch cover, first ever artwork picked up at Terrificon. Guys, go to Terrificon. You can do a lot of first time things and grab amazing pieces like this. Don't worry, Dan. I'm gonna get it framed up, and I don't know how I'm gonna display it in here, but I'm definitely gonna do it.
That is well done there, Josh. It looks like you had some great gets there. All right, and finally, our final fresh get of the week from our audience here. The only person that is eligible. It is the real Caleb, aka Cable Leland. What the hell is going on here? Greetings, comic fam. As always, your good friend Cable he did call himself Cable, by the way, is on the prowl for a good horror comic to sink his teeth into. Luckily, the recently acquired collection had such a catch. Bloodstained Teeth from Image Comics is a series that I hadn't heard of, but will be on the hunt for. Issue 1 sets up the premise that there are two breeds of vampires, the Firstborns and the Sips, who are created by them. This looks to be an interesting take on how influencers can show the truth about vampires to the rest of the world. So I'm entering this victim for Fresh from the Comic Shop. Much love and peace. Pleasant dreams. I'm sure he's saying that very creepily. All right, Judge, do you have anything you'd like to show off as your fresh guest this week?
I'll rattle these off. In fact, I got this from Joe. Joe, this was cool. This
Oh,
one of the
yeah.
coolest things I've ever seen. That Herb Trimp sketchbook. This is the second print, but it is autographed. I'm trying to open. I had this open here, the first page. So it's autographed by Herb Trimp.
Awesome.
And check out the splash page.
Wow.
And I loved Herb
Nice.
Trimp. I'm a Hulk fan. I remember the Herb Trimp run. And one thing I didn't realize about his love, he loved fighter jets. So there's lots of fighter jet images here. So I won't rattle through these because we don't have time. But Joe, that was cool. This is very, very cool to have these. And apparently there's more than one of these. So I'll be on the hunt for others. You mentioned Green Lantern. How about Green Lantern number 44? And I read through this just this past week here. I'm just getting into the DC books here. They did a lot of standalone stories. There wasn't much saga or crossover as they did with Marvel. So I'm educating myself regarding the history. This is a 12 center, so it's late 66, I think, is when this came out. And one thing I didn't realize, it was drawn by Gil Kane. Mm-hmm. Gil Kane, a very underappreciated artist in Marvel, and apparently he did some crossover with DC and Marvel. But it's cool to have, very cool to have. And last thing, and forgive me, I don't think I've showed this. If I did, my apologies. But now I got this one here from Comic Ozzy, if you're still in the chat. And it's Daredevil number 8.
Oh, nice.
First appearance of Stiltman. It's a really pretty condition. This will be graded by EGS at some point. But, since I got the Daredevil 1, I'm very focused in on getting more Daredevil comics, easy for you to say, in Silver Age.
That looks beautiful, Dan.
Yeah, it's in great condition.
Dan, you're going to have a field day. I have dozens of Silver Age Daredevil books that are going to be up for grabs soon.
Okay, I'm working on all kinds of things. Well, I've got comics in the works. So, hey, since there's no real ruling, I don't have to get dressed. There's only one submission.
I mean,
Yeah.
you don't see any obstacles in our way to move Caleb Leland on, do you?
No, and it's a great picture, by the way. He didn't go shy or just called this one in.
No,
Caleb's
it's good.
I love his expressions on these. He's getting better and better at these kind of things.
He really is. And, his submission last week with Will Work for Bags and Boards. But he is going up against Justin, a.k.a. Raising Elm. We'll be doing the voting on Wednesday of this week, I do believe. Yeah. It's going to be a hectic week for me.
But he still deserves the gavel. Caleb Leland, you are the winner this week. Case dismissed.
Congratulations, Caleb Leland. You are moving on to the semifinals against Raising Elm. What an amazing show this evening. Oh, by the way, Dan, Gil Kane was also the artist on Green Lantern 59, the first appearance of Guy Gardner as well. So,
okay.
Yeah, he's done a lot. So yeah, this has been an amazing show. Fantastic. I'm glad you all survived. Please check on Paul Bond to see if he's still alive. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering as well. Like and subscribe if you have not done so already. I do have to say, next week is our last show of August because it's a 5-week month or a 5-weekend month. So I just want to make that announcement right now. We'll probably make that announcement again next week. Joshua, talk.
It has been a long weekend, extremely tired, but it was worth it. Every moment. I had a lot of fun with the guys that I, got to hang out with, the main crew, Joe, Paul, Brian, Mike, and myself. We got to meet a lot of you guys and hang out with people who we, haven't seen in a while, and just a great weekend of many firsts. And this community is so great. Like I said, with John Ross, aka Big Daddy, helping me out with the Lois Lane 70, and then Paul willing to purchase that for me and let me just, take my time paying him back and everything, and get my first artwork. This community is amazing, guys. Go reach out to everybody, get close to everybody. It is a awesome community to be a part of, and I had a great Terrificon weekend, and I hope we can do it next weekend and keep it going as a yearly thing, and hopefully get some more people. Maybe get the judge over there. Maybe if Jeff can stop lying to us and actually show up, we'll have to see. But I love you all, and wait for the rest of my haul for Terrificon. I have some amazing surprises that I still did not show you yet, and that'll hopefully be coming later this week.
Judge.
Love being on the show, guys. You guys had fun at Terrificon. Here on the West Coast, there's GalaxyCon in San Jose, which my daughter and I are going to try to go to. I'm 90% certain I'll be there. Guest will be William Shatner, one of my heroes from as a child, Lou Ferrigno, the original Hulk, Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye will be there.
There we go.
And several others. So I'll see what I can come up with, next week. I'll be on Tony Sanders' The Hunt Saturday at 6:30 Pacific. Spine Ticks on 8 o'clock right afterwards, and then right back with you guys at 5 o'clock Pacific here on the Cannon.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Joseph, let's close things up here.
Yeah, great weekend. I love this con. This is the first time I ever actually stayed up there. I've done Terrificon as a day trip the past 3 or 4 years with Pope, and this felt so much better. Just being able to relax and sleep in and not have to rush and stuff, and hucking it over 4 hours there and back in the same day is a little exhausting. So very, very awesome weekend, and can't wait for next year. Really the only thing on my agenda other than Philly Comic-Con, which it's every other month, it's a smaller one, is Baltimore and maybe New York. I'm not even sure if I'm going to go to New York, but Baltimore is definitely on my list of always must go to shows.
Excellent. Okay. Well, with that said, we are going to close out episode 235. It has been our honor and a pleasure to be able to hang out with you on every Sunday as we do. We are the #1 live show of all time, so please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I mean, you have. But again, we will see you all next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, almost every Sunday, except for holidays and 5 weekend months, right? Until then, everybody, please, 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 please be good to yourselves and be good to others. Peace.
I love you.